All right, Melons, this is going to be a phenomenal game. Betties looking to continue their winning ways. High Rollers looking to put the first win on the board for this season.
That's right. Number 2 Betties are 2-1, I believe, and the High Rollers 0-3 so far. They did play earlier in the season, but the High Rollers have some new draftees to the team that might make a difference tonight.
And the High Rollers had the biggest roster shakeups in the offseason, so it's just taken them a little bit of time to get that chemistry back. And every game that they've been playing, they've been getting better and better.
All right, is this anyone's first time watching roller derby? Yeah?
All right.
All right, welcome. We have some very special volunteers wearing purple, called Purple Rain. They know all the things. You can flag them down and get some information. It looks like we are ready to go here, Hamtramck.
All right, off jamming first for the High Rollers is Bad Wolf, but Abracadaver gets through. So if you're new, the jammers are the ones with the stars on their helmets, and they are the ones that score all the points.
There you have the High Rollers playing defense. Getting that jam called off. A solo point for the Betties on the board. Taking us through our first jam. No penalties this jam, Hamtramck.
No kidding, Melons. That's going to change as the game goes on. But what you saw Abracadaver do as lead jammer, they have the privilege of calling off the jam whenever they would like, and they called it off before the High Rollers could get any points. So a little bit of strategy there.
Great strategy there.
Nuga knockout jamming for the High Rollers. A transfer from Cherry City in nearby Salem. Up against Ivy Cardiac.
And a lead jammer has been determined. That's Nuga knockout. Nuga and Ivy Cardiac ready to score some points. And again, now the High Rollers using that same strategy, diving in for that solo point, but calling it off before the Betties could draw any blood.
Exactly right. This game it's looking like trench warfare already. Every point is going to be a huge thing. Gallifrey on the line for the Breakneck Betties, one of the many aged-up juniors and a phenomenal talent. And you'll see her talent here at work just shortly, getting lead jammer.
There she goes. Big contact there from Coupe de Gras, just seemed to send her momentum forward. We have our first penalty of the game, Ginger Raff in the box, as well as Ripley.
And also the first time we've seen an actual scoring pass go uncontested. Now Lady Lux gets free.
All right, that one gets called off. 3 points there for the Betties, but they're going to have to start this next jam at a deficit. Only 2 blockers eligible to field the track.
That's certainly going to make a big difference here as Ruby Blitz will be jamming for the High Rollers, also a transfer from Cherry City in Salem. Abracadaver, one of the newer draftees for the Betties. And the whistle starts, and here we go. Ruby Blitz with only a 2-all to work with and is able to get lead jammer right away.
All right, Ruby Blitz out, and she is on fire, but that Betties defense really shaking it up here.
And we're going to have our first power jam of this game as a cut call was called on Abracadaver, and they will take a seat in the Bud Light penalty box.
Ruby Blitz, the only jammer on the track, gets hit to the inside by Ginger Raff and Ripley.
Beautiful run back is when a player gets knocked out of bounds, they have to come back in behind all of the people that were in front of them. So you'll see teams running backwards.
Great track awareness here. Ripley just doing a killer job sitting on top of Ruby Blitz.
Ripley's been around for a while, and she's also an amazing talent on skates and a great coach as well.
She made a baby.
No. All right, both jammers now back on the track. Cadaver going to work on that green high roller wall. A little bit of offensive help from Ginger Raff.
Oh, after all of that, we are going to get a cut track penalty on Ruby Blitz. That means Abracadaver's the only jammer on the track, completes her initial pass.
And what it also means is if you are lead jammer and then you go to the penalty box, it's a 2-minute jam, so nobody can call this off anymore. It's going to go the full 2 minutes.
And that's Rosemary Baby with a beautiful force out in front of the team benches.
Rosemary's Baby, another transferred up junior skater. I should say aged up.
And newcomer Pixie being careful not to pick up a penalty there. Lets the jammer go. Well worth it. That's 5 points there for the High Rollers on that pass. Make it 10 for the jam and 5 for the Breakneck Betties, meaning the High Rollers are up by 2. Scott, what do you have for us?
Hey, gang, be sure to check your Bridgeport beer cups. 3 lucky winners tonight will drink Bridgeport on Rose City Rollers. See the bar for details.
Drink up that Bridgeport responsibly.
I love that. Nice disclaimer.
Out front there, we have Bad Wolf pushing out, does pick up a forearm penalty. No lead jammer has been assessed yet. It is Ivy on the track doing the work. And she does get designated lead jammer.
So Betty's looking to take the lead here. This is a perfect opportunity to get some points uncontested. You see all of the Betties playing some offense here.
Looks pretty contested to me.
That's true.
Captain Rogue One running her back. Ivy shaking that off. And we have a lead change with the Betties up front.
That took an awfully long time for Ivy to get through on that scoring pass on the power jam. The defense of the High Rollers doing a great job so far.
Ruth Robertson playing very patient defense on Ivy.
And the quick call off by Ivy there before the High Rollers can score any points. 7-0 jam.
OHSU Sports Medicine is proud to be the official medical care team of the Rose City Rollers.
All right, for those watching at home, of course, the High Rollers are wearing green with gold and the Breakneck Betties red with white. The Breakneck Betties currently a lead by 5. 22.5 minutes in this first period still remaining, and it is Gallifrey, lead jammer.
Gal with some fancy footwork and spinning on that inside line, really showing us those skills. You know, Mellons, usually there's 2 types of jammers. There are the finesse jammers, and then there are just the bulldozer jammers, and Gallifrey is a little bit of both.
She sure is. I totally agree.
We'd like to thank Black Cat Plumbing, your local neighborhood plumbing company and proud sponsor of Rose City Rollers, and the Wheels of Justice since 2009.
Wheels of Justice just announcing their charter just a very few short days ago. Lots of great names on that list, Mellons.
Yeah, a lot of new talent. As some retirements coming through from the legendary Wheels of Justice.
Absolutely.
Abracadaver wearing red, jammer at the top, turn 1 inside of a triangle of doom. Triangle of bling. Lady Lux sneaks through the inside. Apex picks up lead jammer.
Yeah, that High Rollers tripod has been doing some great work so far. I know it's still early in the game, but that defense has been on point.
I'm pretty sure the more you cheer for a jammer, the faster they skate. I heard that was a rumor. We have a star pass. The magical powers of the jammer have been handed over to Ripley.
That's right. The pivot is the only one that can take the star from the jammer. The pivots have the stripe on their helmet. Now you see a little bit of defensive tactics here as the jammers have to pass the blockers to get points, and you'll see the pack speed up.
See, what did I tell you about those bumpers, Amtrak?
Boy, I tell you, if you were walking on the track right there, that would have been bad news. But 4 blockers trying to stay in front of the jammers, and then just like clockwork, all 4 of them were in the bumpers.
Hey, it looks like we got an official timeout. What does that mean? It's a taco timeout. Porque no.
Porque yes.
Woo!
Official timeouts are usually to discuss what is their outfit going to be for the after party. Sometimes they're deciding who is buying the first round. I think the first person to get a beer tonight would be OMG, as they are outside pack reffing, which is awesome.
Yeah, OMG, one of the skaters we previously mentioned who has made the list of Wheels of Justice skaters. And pretty well known in the Derbyverse.
Pretty well known.
Kind of a big deal. Sometimes the official timeouts just turn into dance parties, and the Betties are leading that brigade. It's always JMFK that's leading the dance party.
JMFK. Every time. There you go.
All right, looks like the officials have concluded whatever business they needed to do, and we're back to action.
I think they're wearing sequins for the after party is what they decided.
Well, look who we have on the jam line. It's Bleeda for the Betties, who we hadn't seen in a while. Now, and Ruby Blitz for the High Rollers.
Ruby opting for the inside line, is in that triangle of Betty's defense. Tenacity holding it down. It is Bleeda that picks up lead jammer. Good effort there by newcomer Pixie to nab her.
It was great offense by the Betties that Bleeda was really in trouble at first, but the offense came through and Bleeda skated through to a lead jam and the quick call off.
Your live broadcast of tonight's bout is being brought to you by Blaze Streaming Media.
Thanks, Blaze.
And we're into jam number 9 with Ivy Cardia Attack jamming for the Betties against Bad Wolf.
We're 10 minutes into this first bout, and it is a 1-point game. Looking really good here for the High Rollers, but it is Ivy picking up lead jammer. A direction of gameplay penalty being assessed
to Drone.
On Drone, number 13. Ivy with a natural grand slam, 5 points here. And Ginger Raff now joining Drone in the penalty box.
And it looks like we have a star pass to Ruth Robertson.
Well, there goes Ripley, and she does step out. So this is now a power jam for Ivy Cardia Attack.
Yeah.
That's usually great news when the jammer is now a blocker.
Yeah,
for the opponents.
Absolutely. And the power jam on top of that, it's a good thing. Now we're going to see, it looks like they want to run this jam and maximize that power jam rather than go for a power start. Okay, now just as soon as I say that, they decide to call this off, and they will have a power start for the Breakneck Betties going in to jam number 10.
Yeah, that's right. They have iced Ruth Robertson, but she has a ton of experience. She'll know what to do.
Hey, gang, don't forget to grab a garden bar wrap at the concessions and check your program for a $2 off coupon.
On the next one. Oh, he's got it right here. So a little bit of strategy on the part of the high rollers. They put the pivot cap on one of their regular jammers, Nuga Knockout. So they're expecting a star pass. And Gallifrey comes back in on the first scoring pass, gets around rather easily on the outside. And now the Betties defense goes to work on Ruth Robertson.
And you can see the high rollers sticking together like a web to play defense, but they are trying to get their jammer through. And there she goes, Ruth Robertson, putting the pressure on the Betties to call that jam. Gal calls it off. I believe that will be 8 points on the jam, and the Betties now extend their lead 43-24.
Hey, don't forget to get your raffle tickets. There's $500 of value in that basket today, including some Laurelhurst free admission tickets, handcrafted leather bike saddlebags with Wheels of Justice detail. Lots of good stuff in that basket.
And it looks like we're going to have a quick official timeout. Tell us what it is, Scott.
That's a taco timeout. Porque no.
Porque
Yes.
yeah.
Hey, you know we have a really awesome raffle going on tonight?
Totally do. Tell us about it,
Oh
Melons.
my gosh, there is over $500 worth of excellent prizes. Get your raffle tickets. You could win things like admission tickets to Laurelhurst. You could get a succulent terrarium, socks from Sock It To Me, a signed 2017 Wheels of Justice poster. All of these can be yours for $1 for a ticket, $5 for 10 and $20 for the height of you or a very tall friend. And we will pull the raffle ticket at halftime. Must be present to win. Get those raffle tickets. They do benefit the nonprofit organization that we are.
There you go. And the taco timeout concluded. Back to action with Abracadaver going up against Lady Lux.
Love seeing Ripley fly up to play some offense here for Cadaver, mixing it up.
Yep, and that breaks up the pack just enough. Ripley doing what's known as a threading offense, where she makes one hit and then goes to the next person. And now look at Ripley do defensive work on Lux.
Oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ripley.
Remember how I said there's finesse jammers and there's bulldozer jammers? Cadaver's a bulldozer, and it's amazing. And it looks like this is a power jam now for the Betties as Lady Lux has taken up residence in the penalty box. Betties doing their best to hold back what's known as a goat because it keeps the pack back with them and can get the other blockers out of play sooner.
Well, there goes Ripley again. Taking coup de grace out of the equation, and Abracadaver goes on a third scoring pass.
And it looks like some strategy here.
I want to give a very special welcome to a fan in the house tonight. Where's Mara? Mara, welcome to the hangar. She is visiting Oregon as her 50th state.
Wow.
She's got them all.
That's
awesome.
amazing.
So awesome. Congratulations, Mara. We are so glad to have you here.
And if there's something Oregon's good at, it's roller derby. So what a great way to celebrate that accomplishment.
Blida now jamming for the Betties.
Very short power start. No lead jammer has been assessed yet, and the High Rollers have recycled Blida out of bounds.
Rosemary Baby getting her to the outside of the track boundary with help there from Neck Punch McGillicuddy.
Yeah, Gilly's doing amazing on this jam. Between Gilly and Rolls, that's just not what you want to see as a jammer. A little bit of offense from Tenacity.
Lady Lux getting some assistance here.
Now Blida's got a cut track penalty power jam for the High Rollers.
Well, that's great news for Lady Lux, but not if Tenacity has anything to say about it.
And now it's going to be a jammer swap as Lady Lux takes a seat with a penalty and Blida will be released.
Release me. And a little bit of a high kick to get through that pack.
Oh. And Blida, illegal entry, cut two of her own skaters. And it's just going to be rotating jammers in the penalty box.
This jam will go all the way through to its 2-minute completion. There goes Lady Lux completing the initial pass.
But either way, the High Rollers will have a power start because Blida didn't sit down until 26 seconds left.
Blida serving in the penalty box. Lady Lux may have gotten a couple points under her belt.
A little bit of confirmation between the jam ref and the OPR before points are assessed.
A team timeout has been called by the High Rollers.
Hey, did you guys know our jammer line tonight is being brought to you by Tonkin.com? The largest selection of new and used autos in the Pacific Northwest is only a click away at Tonkin.com.
So what only a few minutes ago was a 1-point game has now been opened up into about 36. So it's probably a good timeout on the part of the High Rollers coaching staff to kind of refocus the team and try and break that momentum that the Betties are experiencing right now.
That's right. They want to calm down, slow down their heart rates. Their penalties have been a setback in the last 10 minutes of play.
It looks like both teams jockeying for that pivot line.
Nuga knockout takes the star for the High Rollers on this quick power start.
Very brief power jam for the High Rollers as now both jammers back on the track. Ginger Aff gonna afford some offense for Blida. But Blida runs right into Psycho and can't get through.
Yeah, but coup de grace there, not only to bridge the pack, but to move up and just scoop these blockers off of Nuga Knockout's lap.
Wow, big hit by Rogue One on Blida.
And the force back there by Ruth Robertson.
Oh, apex jumps don't always work on the straightaway.
And there we go. That's 4 points for Nuga Knockout. Uh-oh. We have a star pass over to the one and only Gallifrey. Wisely, Nuga is going to call that one off at the end of that. It's a 7-point jam in the pocket.
We'd like to give a special thanks to the Portland Mercury and Sheba.
I like their system of meeting
All right. Blocker disadvantage for the Breakneck Betties right now, but Ruby Blitz trying to take advantage, but between Smelter Skelter, Tenacity, and Sprout, they've got Ruby held back for a little bit, and Ruby has got a forearm call. Great defense by the Betties.
Ivy getting back into it, finds her lane right behind Smelter Skelter. Picks up lead jammer.
It looks like the High Rollers didn't even see Ivy coming on that pass. They're more ready this time, though.
Shallon Spocker escorting her to the outside, not once, but twice. A cut track has now been assessed on Ivy Cardiac.
So Ruby was released before Ivy got there, so it's going to be a full 30-second power jam.
The High Rollers holding back, letting Ruby Blitz do what Ruby Blitz does. They now prepare for another scoring pass, or the first scoring pass, rather.
So when your team has a power jam, basically everyone can play offense, and their job is to create chaos in the defensive wall. Jammers thrive on chaos.
Wow, such speed. Ivy almost takes herself out, but she passed the opponent legally, so no problem there.
She had a lot of momentum on that outside line.
I love seeing Tenacity twist her upper torso and her lower body like she's a Barbie doll and make those hits. Hi-ya!
Tenacity's an amazing skater and a really hard hitter. So if you ever want to see good roller derby action, just look for Tenacity, and you're going to see some amazing derby happen.
All right, the High Rollers happy with that, 5 points. Score now, 39-67, the Betties lead. We have about 7.5 minutes until halftime. And at halftime, we have some excellent activities coming up. We are doing an adult tricycle race. Always a good time to laugh at old people, including myself. We're going to have a special treat and, of course, the raffle.
It's always fun when you get tall people doing that tricycle race because the mechanics don't work very well there.
Now Bad Wolf picking up lead jammer just barely ahead of Abracadaver. High Rollers really picking up the pace here. Rogue to the penalty box for a forearm. And that'll be a solo point for the High Rollers.
We'll start with a blocker advantage. The Breakneck Betties. Normal thinking when you're short is to start in the front, but the High Rollers electing for a jam line start with Nuga knockout jamming.
I don't know if you want to give Gallifrey a running start.
That's a great point. But Gallifrey, you just don't want to see her there anywhere.
Well, you can't see her anyway because she's already lead jammer, hand
Right.
track. Oh, beautiful contact, Nuga knockout, shaking that beautifully timed hit off.
Hey, gang, don't forget to get your Voodoo Donuts. The magic is in the hole. Proud sponsor of the Road City Rollers and the Wheels of Justice.
All right, about 5.5 minutes remaining. We have a 31-point game, which is one jam. Ivy Cardiac with a full pack to assist her against Lady Lux, and it is Ivy picking up lead jammer. Ivy's having a fantastic game.
Yep, she's giving the other team a coronary. Oh, that was well, Ivy came away with a penalty there. coup de grace with a low block on Ivy, so Ivy must have done something else previous. So Lady Luck's the only jammer on the track right now, but Drone doing some great work, knocking Lux out of bounds. Very nice screen by the high rollers to keep Drone from going back, but now Lux is having a difficult time with this Betties wall.
One more to beat here. Drone eats up some time, but it is 5 points here for Lady Lux.
That's exactly right. Even though Lux got out, the Betties did their job by eating up most of that power jam.
Power jam, it's delicious. Well, that's Gingeraf using those Gingeraf legs for evil.
Meanwhile, in the back of the pack, Ruth Robertson getting drawing a cut track penalty on Ivy, so another power jam for the high rollers. Gingeraf doing work on Lady Lux over there in turn 2. And the jam comes to an end.
Rose City Rollers' newest supporter, Bud Light. Grab one at the bar, dilly dilly.
Thanks, Bud Light.
Hey, well, it's pretty loud down there in the audience. Do you think it could be because of the Wreckers cheering section hosted by Shell? Shit. Wrong bout.
That's tomorrow, but hey, we're already cheering for them. Coming into Jam 18, Ruby Blitz trying to get through. Sprout right now, but now the whole Betties have reformed, and that defensive wall looks like Tenacity, JMFK, Smelter Skelter, and now Sprout comes back to play offense for Ivy, and no jammer is getting through. Defense wall of the Breakneck Betties is solid.
You can really see Ruby Blitz digging in every step. You're trying to get some purchase on the track and always have forward momentum so that you can explode out the front of the pack just like Ruby Blitz did.
Ruby getting some offensive help from the newest high roller, Pixie, who is a transfer from North Carolina and an aged up junior. And you see Pixie running Ivy back right now. It's her first game as a high roller.
Shaolin Spocker, very active in the front, playing offense, looking for another weakness in that Betties wall to help out Ruby.
Skelter being part of that 4 wall was actually screening Spocker from playing any offense momentarily.
Oh! Really slow, grinding jam. This is what all the training is for, all the nights in the gym.
You see the blockers having to keep their feet moving because if they dig their feet in and stop, they can get a penalty for that.
There comes Ruby with that 5 points. And a very important 5 points. They now trail by only, what, 15? Well, this is getting exciting. Hey, speaking of exciting, what do you have, Scott?
Hey, if you're not into beer, we talked about that last time, don't forget to check out Two Town Cider. Damn fine cider made right here in the Pacific Northwest.
Damn fine cider.
Woo-wee. So how good was that timeout, Melons? Because they were down about 36. Now look at it, 11 points between the teams.
This is great. This is good derby. You know that the high rollers are hungry for it, and the Betties can't be too confident. Abracadaver jamming for red. Bad Wolf jamming for the high rollers. Coup de grace with a hit in the front of the pack, but it is Abracadaver picking up lead.
Wow, I'm surprised Abracadaver stayed in.
I'm not. She's a beast.
That was a big hit, though.
It's not controlled.
She must have had her legs in the air or something.
Okay, bye.
And the period clock has expired, so this will be the last jam of the first half. Both defenses just doing great work on the back straightaway, and these jammers are not having a good time right now. Abracadaver electing to call off this jam, and that will do it for the first half. 5-0 jam for the Breakneck Betties. It's 78-62. Are y'all ready for the second half of this game? Who out there is rooting for the High Rollers? Who's rooting for the Betties? Oh, wow. High Roller fans, you're not going to let them get away with that, are you? How about the High Roller fans? And the Betties. All right, it's about even now.
Roller derby and sports, yeah!
Who's rooting for the officials? Yay!
Yay. Booing is so 2010.
Seriously.
Oh my God.
We don't boo volunteers
Don't
here.
boo volunteers. Dude, OMG is reffing. Respect. All right, back at it here, Hammy. Let's go.
Here we go. It's Abracadaver doing that work for the Breakneck Betties up against Nuga Knockout. Both defenses are dug in right now, and no one is going anywhere. Usually that's when they get out and make the announcers look dumb, but the defense is still absolutely dug in on these two jammers. Now your mom's favorite skating off to the penalty box, leaving Drone, Ginger Aff, and Ripley a formidable three-wall.
Your mom donning one of the finest uniforms I've ever seen in the penalty box, probably for being so attractive.
Props to the singlet.
Yes, absolutely. Nice work there, your mom's favorite.
Nuga Knockout being recycled back by Ginger Aff. Still not having any luck with Ripley and Drone. Cadaver still not having any sort of luck with the green wall in front of her. Now Nuga is not lead jammer. Lead jammer was obtained very briefly. No initial pass for Abracadaver. Tight first jam.
Helping you be more awesome in your work, sports, and life. WSL Leadership Coaching.
Because who doesn't want to be more awesome at everything?
You know, there is such a thing as too awesome, and let me tell you, it's pretty tough work.
You can tell us all about it, Melon.
I sure can.
I love it. All right, Ruby Blitz going up against Ivy Cardi Attack.
Oh, wow. Croup de Gras just bulldozing the way through that Betty's pack up front. Ivy, though, finding some room to move up the inside, will pick up lead jammer.
It was a very nice move on that inside line.
Oh, Tenacity gave a little hug. That was nice.
It's always nice to be close with your, fellow competitors. Betties have a thing that you'll hear them yell at each other, snuggle. Betties snuggle, and they were snuggling.
That's right. As much as roller derby has big hits, it's really a game of suppression and control. So sitting right on top of someone is going to give you a huge advantage.
Yep, Tenacity doing some offensive work there. And Ivy's going to call that off before any points can be scored for the High Rollers.
I swear that Ivy has eyes in the back of her head. Great call off there.
Don't forget to check your Bridgeport Beer Cup. 3 lucky winners will drink Bridgeport on Rose City Rollers tonight. See the bar for details.
Hey, the Betties have a really exciting event coming up called the Spring Fling.
Oh, I cannot wait.
And that's April 28th at the Eagle Lodge. Check out the Betties Facebook page for more information. And for your pleasure, Gallifrey is also lead jammer.
Spring Fling is always an amazing time, and if you do not go, you are missing out. Very tactical jam there, 2-0.
Special thanks to Deb Counts Tabor. Let Deb guide you home. Proud realtor, sponsor of the Rose City Rollers. Check it out at welcometopdx.com.
All right, Bleeda. Got some fans in the house. Quick moves up here by Bad Wolf.
Oh, JMFK and Tenacity doing some work on Wolf, though. Sprout holding the pack together. And lead jammer going to Bad Wolf, trying to close up the gap.
And it's actually going to be a power jam in favor of Bad Wolf. The great opportunity for the High Rollers to, meet Tenacity. But Bad Wolf knows how to handle that. Bleeda in the box for a cut track penalty. 5 points up on the board for Bad Wolf.
Tenacity is amazing and just showing off the skills. Now JMFK going to do a little bit of defensive work on her own.
Sprouted Control gets right in front of Bad Wolf. They're doing a fantastic job of getting low and closing those gaps right alongside your mom's favorite. Well, I'm exhausted.
I tell you, JMFK was trying to open up a hole for Bleeda and went for the hit, and Bleeda didn't see it coming and got stuck and went out of bounds.
Rogue One picking up a penalty and be sitting in that sin bin. And Tenacity again just doing what she does best, anchoring that tripod of Red Doom. Now a parallelogram.
Sprout of Control taking the star for the Betties, but the jam is called off before any points can be scored.
We'd like to thank 808. Food so good it straight broke the mouth. 2 locations, Burnside and Woodstock.
Makes me hungry for Spam Musubi. All right, coming into Jam 5 of period number 2. Cadaver trying to bully her way through.
Nuga having a breakout game here, not lead jammer, because Abracadaver blows through on a scoring pass here. Florida Lethal heading to that penalty box.
Wow, Cadaver with a huge hit on rolls and is able to break through the pack. Looks like Ripley's going to the penalty box, and it looks like Abracadaver with a back block call. So power jam for the High Rollers, and now only 1 blocker left on the track, and that's Drone.
That's right. This is another one of those opportunities. It's a 20-point game. Make that a 15-point game. Plenty of time on that clock.
Fleur de Lethal now joining Drone on the track, trying to stop Nuga, but able to get through for 5 more points.
That's now 10 points separating these teams. And again, the High Rollers not having a win in the column this season, but they have been league champions so many times. They know that they want it back.
This would be a really exciting win for them. They just need to get it first, though. Still lots of time left on the clock. Nice flipping by the Betties wall and able to maintain the pack and still contain the jammer. Great job by the wall in red.
Ooh-wee, Nuga knockout. Another 5 on the board.
Cadaver is slow to get up.
Well, at the end of that, looks like Abracadaver is up, shaking that one off, but we have a 5-point game.
Yeah, this is a great game, and a little bit more than 5, but roller derby athletes are some of the toughest around. I don't think we've seen the last of Abracadaver.
All right, it's a 9-point game.
And just before the jam starts, we have
a taco timeout. 4K no.
4K yes.
Yes.
I think this is a great time. Also, to thank our DJ, Daniel Slay Lewis. Hit those tunes, boy.
Woo! Our marvelous DJs keep us moving.
Hey, we'd like to thank some more of our sponsors, Myopic Optometry and New Deal Distillery. Thank you so much.
So, Mellons, I didn't notice, was the jam called off for the injury, or was it a natural end to the jam?
Hard to say. I didn't quite catch that myself. The jammer was up on her feet, which means she was not in the face of danger,
right,
by definition.
If the jam was called off for that, then Abracadaver would have to sit for 3 jams, but in a jammer rotation, that's about normal anyway. Looks like Cadaver's gonna be fine. All right, the officials have concluded whatever business they were tending to, and we're ready to go into Jam 6. And Ivy, Cardi attack with the quick move on the outside is your lead jammer.
Out of control, playing that offense early and often, anticipating Ivy's approach.
And Ivy gets recycled out of bounds. Pixie doing some great work for the high rollers. Her first game as a high roller. And is going to get through, but oh, look at Pixie go.
Rosemary's Baby there to stop all that momentum, thankfully, for the high rollers.
Sprout of Control doing some screening there to try and minimize the damage on the jammer, and Ivy is free for 5 points.
Man, this is a pack of chaos. It's like a jack in the box, building up so much pressure, 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 and then that jammer just flies out.
Uh-oh, but that time, something went out of bounds, and Ivy will have to surrender lead jammer. And this jam will go for 2 minutes.
Is there enough gas in the tank for the remainder of this jam?
And it looks like we have a successful star pass. But once again, we have the Betties able to do some great work on this power jam to eat up a lot of time.
And there they pass that star over to Ruth Robertson.
And now the pivot cap is acting like a kind of a baby mullet.
It's a ponytail. Great teamwork there. The force out by JMFK, assisted by Sprout of Control. Now, lots of these skaters have just made the Wheels of Justice program and charter. And one way you can support the Wheels of Justice is by attending the One Heart Dance Party and Art Auction. That's April 7th. It's at the Funhouse Lounge. That's 21 and over, 10 p.m. to midnight. There is a suggested donation at the door, but it is an art auction. It's a great time. Some really talented artists donate their work. So check that out. Meanwhile, Gallifrey picking up lead jammer.
And she was excited about it, too. She pumped her fist and everything. Woo! Gallifrey has no quit. It was interesting, the first scoring pass was only 3 points, as there was a no pass, no penalty at play.
Sneaks around the outside of my grandmother, Minstrel Psycho. Jalen Spocker wearing the star wants to pick up the pace, make it a little bit harder for Gallifrey to swing through a point-scoring pass. Great call there by Spocker. I don't know how Gal gets up that fast. When she's falling, she's already getting up.
Like I said, there's just no quit. The legs are constantly moving, and wow, look again. Not showing any sign of fatigue.
This is like the Betties version of Lauren Much.
I tell you, and since it is a pivot that has the star for the High Rollers, the Betties want to maximize this jammer matchup and keep Gal getting points.
Little do-si-do to pick up those last few points. A 21-point jam for Gallifrey, making that the highest scoring jam of the game. Make that 25 points. Hey, Scott, what do you have for us?
The friendly people over at Echo Construction love custom home building, remodels, and roller derby.
It's a 33-point game because Gal just put up 25 points.
And up until then, Gallifrey had only done some 4-0, 1-0, 2-0 jams.
Some
the first time,
dimes.
yeah.
Smelter Skelter eagerly going to the penalty box. And it is Bad Wolf lead jammer with a cut track now. Ivy Cardi attack with having a fantastic game, finds herself in the box.
Ivy Cardi attack getting that penalty is just what the doctor ordered for the High Rollers.
Absolutely, 4-2 pack advantage, or 3-2, 3-4, I can't count.
Math is hard.
Bad Wolf through for the first 5.
High Rollers need to get this comeback happening. 15 minutes left is a lot of time, but it disappears very, very quickly. I think 36 has been the highest point differential in this game so far, and that's not very much. This has been a fantastic game so far.
It's not often you see newly drafted skaters making their appearance so quickly. In this case, we're fortunate to have experienced, talented transfers and junior skaters that have grown into the adult league. So they're making a difference right now for the High Rollers.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously we're talking about Pixie here, and Pixie not only getting rostered and playing this game, but making a big difference. Oh, Ivy almost free before the green wall, center out of bounds, and Rogue One has got her all the way back in front of the penalty box.
Well, Ivy may have been in the penalty box, but the Betties did do a great job of suppressing the High Rollers that jam. So the score now 108 to 131.
Quality nutrition and supplies for your pet from our good neighbors at Selwood Pet Supply.
Yeah, that has been a theme, Melons, all throughout this game, is that when they do become powerless, the defense just goes on lockdown and they eat up so much time. Wow, Spocker just doing some phenomenal one-on-one blocking.
That track agility, fantastic. I was noticing the same thing. Up at the front of the pack, it is Nuga knockout again. As soon as she is 20 feet in front of the pack, they will have to let her go. Lead jammer to Nuga knockout.
The high roller wall back there working on Bleeda, getting some help from your mom's favorite, trying to get that shark bite in there. But right now, that high roller wall is not to be denied.
This is tough work here. Ripley, drone, up playing defense at the top of the pack with Sprout of control, just cinching down on Nuga Knockout.
Bleeda still trying to get through that green wall. And Sprout of Control does take the Jammer Star. And the quick call off by Nuga Knockout.
OHS Sports Medicine is proud to be the official medical care team of the Rose City Rollers.
All right, 113 and 131. Are we having a good time here at the hangar? All right, it's Gallifrey going up against Lady Loxley Jammer for the high rollers.
Gallifrey getting in on that outside and will complete the initial pass as Lady Lux looks for points. Lady Lux getting that call off in time. No points for Gallifrey. And 2 points for the high rollers.
Hey, don't forget to go down and check out Rose City Rollers' newest supporter, Bud Light. Grab one at the bar.
Those are 2 different people.
All right, we also have a couple of birthdays here in the house tonight. Happy birthday, Faye.
And happy birthday, Elliot. Thank you so much for spending your special day right here at Oaks Park.
Here we see Abracadaver again for the first time in a few jams. Glad to see Cadaver able to get back out there. Pixie with a great run back, but Ripley with a little bit of offense.
Wow, Abracadaver able to just go right through Spocker and Rosemary Baby. No easy feat. Strong contact there with Mufasta, it looks like. Nope.
Wow, great offense there, and Ruby able to escape the pack on the inside of turn 1.
Oh.
Wow!
Woo!
Ripley with a big hit.
Yeah, that's Pixie. She's shaking that one off.
That was a welcome to RCR, courtesy of Ripley.
She's so good for that.
Still got time to get down to the concessions for a 2-town cider. Damn fine cider made right here in the Pacific Northwest.
What kind of cider?
2-town cider.
Damn fine cider.
Hey, you might notice it's a 25-point game. And the last skater to score 25 points is right here on the track, Gallifrey for the Breakneck Betties.
Bad Wolf just driving that 2-all of Sprout and JMFK forward. And a multiplayer block being called on JMFK, so Bad Wolf.
Fun fact, the MF in JMFK stands for my friend.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I know you're way more professional than that. I just couldn't wait to see what you were going to do with it.
Back block call on Bad Wolf. It's a power jam for the Breakneck Betties.
Great communication coming from the Betties bench. Captain Obvious, head coach of the Betties, very excited coach. Another 5 points here for Gallifrey.
This is a really key jam with 8:27 left. This could end up being the dagger if it stays this way.
Directional penalty going to Jerry, my friend Kelly.
Gallifrey doing some work on that high roller wall. Wow. Sprout ran back, but the officials said it was clean.
They might have been just out of play at that moment. There's a lot going on. So I certainly will not speak on the behalf of the officials.
Nope.
Ever. Never, ever.
They do a great job for us.
Officials, smart. Me, not.
Betty's wall doing work on Bad Wolf. And that jam is going to come to its natural conclusion, but not before Gallifrey gets 20 more points for the Breakneck Betties. 20-11 in that jam. Hit us, Scott.
Hey, our jammer line tonight is being brought to you by Tonkin.com. The largest selection of new and used autos in the Pacific Northwest is only a click away at Tonkin.com.
And it looks like it's going to be a team timeout for the Breakneck Betties with 7:04 left in this game.
Interesting. They have a pretty, not a substantial lead, but a decent lead for how much time is left, and yet they are the ones that are stopping this momentum.
It does seem a little bit odd, but
they know what they're doing, obviously. They are doing extremely well in the league this season.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to these games coming up into champs.
One thing I want to say, when y'all leave, you might notice that Rose City recycles as much as possible, and we'll also be recycling your programs. If you don't wish to keep them, you can drop them off at the front door. Please, and thank you, signed Mother Earth.
But by all means, take it home and check out our sponsors and patronize our sponsors often. They are the ones that make all of this possible.
Hey, did you guys know it's only 5 minutes to burgers, beer, and bottomless fries at Killer Burger?
Killer Burger right here in Selwood.
They give me my favorite heartburn. It's the best.
I didn't know there was a sliding scale of heartburn.
Oh, there is. Trust me.
I love it. All right, on that Tonkin.com jammer line is Ivy Cardi Attack and Lady Lux. Fleur de Lethal providing a little bit of offense there for Ivy.
Lead jammer already assessed here on Lady Lux. These blockers still legally engaging her. No pass, no penalty, no problem, because she had already established lead. That's a great piece of luck.
All right, so the high rollers calling that off before the Betties can get points, but with just over 6 minutes left, they're going to have to start going long to try and collect points as this jam, or this half, is ending.
Hey, we've seen games with bigger differentials have exciting and dramatic conclusions, so don't be thinking the Betties are taking this lightly.
Oh, not at all. I'm just thinking 31.
No, stop it. You got to stop thinking that they're taking this lightly. Okay, good.
Okay. Abracadaver's not taking anything lightly. She is through for lead jammer, but not far behind is Nuga Knockout.
Woo!
Yep, that's a cut call. Cadaver went out of bounds. When a jammer goes out of bounds and tries to call off, their first action has to be to seed the cut, not the call off. So because she went out of bounds, and instead of making an effort to seed the cut before calling off, that's a penalty and a big chance for Nuga Knockout in the high rollers.
Great explanation. Thank you for that. Hamtrak, you know stuff.
Sometimes, not often. Nuga Knockout collecting points here. El Presidente calling a cut track on Nuga Knockout, so it's going to be a jammer swap. Couple of Betties over in that penalty box, though, so only 2 offense working for Cadaver right now, and against a 4 wall of high rollers. Here comes Tenacity now to come in and help. Lays a big hit on rolls. Oh, look at how much time the high rollers have been able to take off of that power jam. Wow, JMFK with a big hit on offense on Ruth Robertson, who didn't see it coming, but Cadaver not able to get through anyway, and the jam comes to a conclusion.
Big thanks to Oaks Amusement Park, home of the Rose City Rollers, and the place to go buy all that derby gear that you know you want.
So just like that, 3.5 minutes left in this game, and the high rollers have 28 points to make up, and we're going to have our first official review called by the Betties. So Coach Psycho is going to explain his case to our head official, Inspector Spaceman, and then Spaceman himself will tell all of us what it is, and then the refs will go discuss it, see what they all saw, and then tell us what the outcome is.
Special thanks to Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery, John's Landing favorite eatery and saloon.
Okay, that's it.
No, because in a second, the head ref will take the microphone and talk on it. So we need to make sure we're not talking when he takes the microphone. Heads is holding the microphone for him, waiting. Apparently, that's not going to happen. Okay. Okay, apparently Spaceman's not going to do that. So, Heads has, okay, Heads is going to say it. Music down.
Red is asking for the removal of the cut call on their jammer in the last jam.
Ooh.
Interesting.
All right, so they are now discussing every angle, everything that they saw in case there's any possibility that that was not a cut track penalty. If they win their case, they get to actually retain their official review, which is fantastic. You can even use it as a timeout.
That's fascinating, though, because removing that penalty will not affect this jam at all. So the only thing I can think of is that maybe that jammer is in foul-out trouble and they need that penalty removed. Only 3.5 minutes left in this game, so they don't want to foul out. So that's the only thing I can think of that would be the reason for calling this official review.
Well, we will find out shortly.
That's not a good thing.
I know.
Coach Psycho pleading his case.
Music down.
Red has lost the official review. Cut call stands.
All right.
Thank you, Heads will roll. And you heard it first. Official review does not stand. They lose their official review. 3 minutes, 32 seconds left in this game. And now a timeout called by the High Rollers.
That would actually be an official review called by the High Rollers. Another official review. Let's just keep doing this. You know, it's toward the end of the game. It's always smart to try and use those official review as a, attempt to turn this into in your direction. Welcome, Pixie. That's exactly what you're expected to do here.
I don't know if I tried doing that. I'd be so dizzy I wouldn't be able to get up off the floor. He didn't know there was going to be like official review entertainment too.
Yep.
That's the roller derby love right there. You never know. Pixie's only been on the team for a week. All right, so Heads is going to tell us what this official review is about.
Third time's a charm. Green is requesting a penalty for the red jammer for swearing on the track.
Okay. So a lot of times it is really hard to get a no call turned into a call. We'll see what happens. Who knows what was said. You're not allowed to swear at the referees.
I don't think you're allowed to swear at all. They changed that rule.
Thank God I don't play anymore.
I tell you. But I've seen you play. You're quite good. I wish you would still do it.
Part of being good at roller derby is saying expletives out loud.
That is true. I mean, it's a tough game, so stuff happens. That other one.
It's possible that the jammer who has a lot of penalties that they were trying to save might get ejected as a result. Maybe this is the last penalty. I'm just making this up as I go, but there's always a reason for the season.
You know what? And I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but your logic is sound.
This time.
All right, the officials have conferred, and we'll see what's going on. All right, Heads is going to let us know what's happening.
After further review, no call.
Nice work on the mic, Heads. Good job.
Well, like you said, Melons, like you said, it's hard to get a no call turned into a call. So.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Heads is a fantastic announcer and has a lot of finesse on the mic, so that was just good, clean fun.
Absolutely. Multi-talented official and volunteer with Rose City, does do some announcing work with us, and very pleased to have them as part of our team.
All right, here, got back to it. Gallifrey, lead jammer.
So Gallifrey trying to open up this 28-point lead. Wow, the footwork. Woo! Gallifrey gets through the pack again.
Less than 3 minutes remain in this game.
Wow. Nuga gets through Ripley, but can she get through everyone? She does. And Gallifrey collecting a few more points before that call off. It looks like all four. Now with just over 2 minutes left, that's an 18-0 jam for the Betties.
Your online source for Portland's music, arts, and events happenings is PDX Pipeline.
All right, so now a little bit more work for the high rollers to do here, Melons. Anything's possible. I'm not ruling it out with good clock management. It can happen.
Really tight pack here as they move into turn one. Big force out there. Some tenacity.
Oh, Ruby's only got Sprout to deal with, but now here comes tenacity. And Ruby gets through for lead jammer.
There is slightly more time on the period clock than the jam clock, so stay on the edges of your seat. There could be another jam or two.
Wow, Ruby Blitz with the shirt whip and getting through for 5 points. Coup de grace providing a little bit of offense for Ruby.
Force out there, Ruby Blitz coming back behind Sprouted Control and JMFK.
Ruby Blitz needs points, and she needs them fast. But that Betties defense is snuggling and doing their job.
Another little tip out there. The trio of Tenacity, JMFK, and Sprouted Control just really handling their business.
Yep, Coup de grace and Ruth Robertson doing work, and she's clean through. Jam is called off, and an immediate timeout by the High Rollers to preserve 8 seconds and to get us one last jam.
And be sure to hang out at the conclusion of the game. We will be awarding MVP jammer and blocker on each team. You can give these sweaty athletes a high five as they take their laps around to thank you for being here. And then you can go home and have your Saturday night.
Hey, we'd like to special thanks to some of our sponsors: Portland Vital Signs, Kay's Bar, Trailhead Credit Union, Bike Punk, Vacasa, Laurelhurst Theater and Pub, Betsy and Aya Jewelry, Fran's Bakery, how about that bread, Protolis Insoles, and Red Bull. Thanks so much to our sponsors.
All right, last jam, y'all. You ready for it?
Yeah, get on your feet. Start cheering for these excellent athletes. Abracadabra on the line for the Betties. And Lady Lux for the High Rollers.
Oh, and Cadaver on the outside.
Force out there, Ripley, Gallifrey blocking, helping Abracadabra get through for an uncontested 5-point pass.
The Betties want to run this. They could end the game right now, but they want to run this and risk Cadaver getting a penalty and having the jam go long, but I guess they figure they're far enough ahead they don't need to worry about it.
You know what? They're in second place, not first. Every point matters when it comes to the league championship.
That's a great point. So Cadaver is going to continue to do work on that high roller wall. It's Mufasta, Rogue One, and Spocker, and they are doing a great job. All right, the Betties are asking for a call off, and they get it. That is the unofficial score, 193 to 148. No official reviews are left, so that should be the final. All right, stand by for high fives, and Melons will have the MVP presentation. It's all you, Melons.
What a game. Let's give it up. Final score, 148-193. Betties, your fans want to give you high fives. Come on out. Go, go, go. Go crazy. Your fans await. You smell terrible. You all smell terrible. Let's give it up, the one and only High Rollers! A big thank you to our referees and officials, our volunteers, our photographers, and of course the fans.